Tuesday, the 31st of March, day 5, COVID-19, quarantine, South Africa. Our president's speech last night, let's just go on that. You know, the emotion felt from Mr. Ramaphosa's tone was actually quite thought-provoking. And the fact that he mentioned, one of the things that really got to me is that more essential service people are going to be deployed into the rural areas to do testing for those that cannot come to the hospitals or clinics, and that certain mobile clinics, etc., will be set up. Now, if you look at this is a mammoth task. We're, as I said in one of the other videos, we're not a small country. South Africa is by no means a tiny little place. And to see to all that is by no means an easy task. So what happens is a lot of people are going to be placing their lives at risk so that we are safe. So what do we do for them from the safety of our homes? The first thing that comes to our mind is we're going to pray for them. I agree that you do. However, what I do appeal to you at this point in time, because I'm hearing this so often, is that people are arguing about religion. And there's a simple saying: before you argue about religion, feed the poor and clothe the naked, then talk to me about religion. And that's the philosophy we should be having now. Heal the sick, feed the poor, clothe those who don't have it. We're reaching colder weather, as you can see from my attire. The days are sunny, but not that hot, and the nights are getting pretty cold. In light of that, I shouldn't say I believe, or I would request that we practice acceptance of each other's beliefs and religions. And if somebody doesn't believe and they're agnostic or they're atheist, respect that too. Each person has his right and her right to, feel the way they feel at this point in time. My concern is that we are moving away from actually accepting this when we start fighting and arguing, and we're turning this into a war zone. It is a war zone. It is a war zone where we're expected to stay at home and be safe. So let's be mindful of that. I am a Hindu. I've walked the path that Christ was baptized in Jordan. I've schooled at a Catholic school. I've lived in an Islamic country for a few years where parts of the Quran were explained to me by a native Arab speaker. So they really understand the language and could tell me about it in English, and that was wonderful. I visited churches, I've visited Viking temples, I've gone to Orthodox churches. I've gone into mosques that have allowed me to go in. I've been to the place where Ravan kept Sita captive. I've also been to the stupa in Nepal, the Buddhist stupa, and I've offered prayers at the Temple of the Tooth in Sri Lanka. So what I'm actually saying to you is that I do these things because my belief takes me in that direction. I have respect for everybody. I don't have to say that, I'm Hindu and what you're believing is wrong. In my field of work, I need to understand people. And if I don't understand where they're coming from with their belief systems, I'm of no use to them. I'm absolutely of no use to them. The book that came up, I bought this book in 2016. That's one of the reasons why I'm going on to a bit of religion today. And this is by Sultan Al-Mausa. Now, Sultan is a young Saudi gentleman, and he wrote this book when he was studying in England. And as you know, a lot of the Middle Eastern people do go to the West to study. This picture is what attracted me when I saw the book on the bookshop at Jarir Bookstore. It's one of the pictures that's going around now about praying in all the different religions. And I love what Sultan had at the back of his book. And he says, "To my dear father, who used to prevent me from reading about religions when I was younger, to protect me. To my beloved mother, who used to prevent my father from doing so." In his introduction, he says, "Remember, we are all aiming to boost the words of God. No matter what we may disagree with each other, I say a saying and you say a saying, but the word of God remains above us all." And that's something we need to know. A lot of people are seeing this as absolute punishment and all that goes with it. Now, I'm not asking you to tolerate, because if I say tolerate, that's actually a very insulting word to use. When you tolerate somebody, it implies that they are a source of irritation, or whatever you're tolerating is irritating you, and you're just keeping quiet about it. Tolerance is not the way to go now. Not when it comes to somebody's belief and the way somebody is approaching this whole thing. We are all on an emotional journey. I'm not asking you to accept it, but I'm asking you to respect it. And that makes a very big difference. I'd like to conclude today's with a few words from Michael J. Fox. And he says, "Acceptance doesn't mean resignation. It means understanding that something is what it is and that there's got to be a way through it. So accept your fellow beings for who they are and what they believe in. Respect their belief. And at the same time, refrain from being judgmental. We're in difficult times. God bless. Much love, much prayers to you. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand."